All right, guys, welcome into another playtest event. And as you can see, we got some issues already off the bat. So bear with me 1 second, okay, guys? Okay, so we're back. Let's just check a couple of things here. All right. All right. Wait. Oh, might be better that way. Let's get her some clothes on real quick here. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Mm. Okay. All right. So we'll just start with that for now. All right. Come on. Stand up. All right. So we're jumping back in. This is some more play testing. Um, what this is really going to test for us is our patience. And then what it's also going to do, and then let's see what we've done to this ship since we've taken it over. Okay. Captain's quarters. Okay. Yep. And then over here, I do see we added this. How do I know I added that? Because it's out of place. So it wouldn't have been. And then I know what this ship looks like, vanilla. So yeah. So let's see what we did down below. Okay. This is there we go. No, we don't. I think this is still the vanilla. Yep. Cargo bay. So this is the vanilla 3x3 cargo bay. Usually what we do is we change this to a 2x2 battle stations and then throw in a workshop. Workshop would be greatly um, beneficial right now. Would really come in handy. Okay, there's gonna be some noise real quick. My wife's is back with the kids, so there's gonna be a lot of noise here in a minute. So another pause. So we got to figure out where we are right now. And then we were over near the den. And yep, okay, good. So are we even still at the den? All right. Because we can do all the necessary work there without getting ourselves into a lot of trouble. Couple of things. Where is it? Where is it? Okay. So while we're here, there is a portable diagnostics terminal that we could, I think, is of it. Nope. Can I place it? Well, we could if we wanted to. Um, right now is not necessary. Ooh, can't afford it. Mission terminal. God dang it. Can't afford that either. And in crafting, the only thing we got is the portable diagnostic. Okay. So we're not going to be able to do much here. We're going to go ahead and sit in a seat. So, by the way, this is Penny Brooks. She's level 15. Now that we're in the seat and we are docked, which is great. And real fuel is running on this. And then everybody knows the issues I've had with real fuel. So, uh, right now, everything's on easy. Um, we're just going to go normal carry capacity, cargo access anywhere. We're actually going to greatly increase the vendor stuff. We're going to turn this off. We have peak performance installed, so we're not going to mess with that. We're going to drop that down to 25. She's at level 15, so we Once she hits level 20, we turn this off. It's just the way I do it. That first 20 levels, I usually just go with an extra. I'm gonna increase her walking speed real quick, just in case. See if we can use that to overcome some of the other issues. I'm just gonna put this. Oh, it's the wrong direction. I just want to put this back to normal. XP slider. We're gonna put that there, and then peak performance, and then yep, disabled. I always push this out as far as possible. It doesn't really, with the way with the XP slider and the Baka bonus level bonus, um, doesn't take long. Really, does not take long to level up. Uh, here, 75 for down to 50, and then 30. Yep, that's the way we like it. That's the way. We like it. Okay, so all right. So right now you can see everything is still. We will integrate the SFSE integration, right? Immersive looting, it all default. Shades vehicle tuner. We enabled the auto harvesting minerals, and then that's about it there. I do increase that to 500 kg. And then out in the darkness or out in the blackness, I reduced that to 50%. I don't want it to happen as often. I might have to tweak it up to 75 and if I don't experience anything in a few hours of playing, you definitely want to get that. So do we have fuel system installed? We do. So you have to hit that to say it is installed. It's that is supposed to have compatibility to make it so that it works with the fuel system and actually causes issues. And then alternate start. Alternate start, you need that because, and then if you read it, normally it waits until after the tutorial missions, Vecteria, and all that stuff before it kicks in, right? So it just doesn't it doesn't actually just engage basically until after you've through the tutorial part of it. Now, if you have alternate start where you're already out in there, then what it'll do is say, oh, okay, we'll go ahead and kick in then, whether you started the constellation stuff or not, which, instead of making you wait. Now, this is Settled Systems Shuttle Service. I wish this was available this time last year, really, because I was trying to mod. It was RNG, RNG Plus, and it was an alternate start mod, right? And then this one would let you choose certain features, and it say like, yeah, I want to start out in whatever system, Neon system. I want to be a chef, and then so you would start out on Neon, and then it would give you the chef trait, but that's it. It didn't really have any kind of mechanics in there where you were actually a chef at a restaurant or something. That's where you started working. But but the thing is, it started you there, so you couldn't get any of the other features to work because then it would just put you in a room, seriously, a room with four walls, and you couldn't get out. But you get there, you start out, and you're on Neon, and you didn't have a ship, you didn't have an artifact, nothing. And I was like, how am I supposed to go anywhere? And then you can make money locally, but you couldn't get out and then when you went to the ship services technician, or when you went to Stroud, or when you went up to Slayton, you couldn't there was the inventory, really, ship service technician's inventory, Stroud's inventory, no ships. It just wouldn't load any ships in. So you couldn't even buy a ship once you had enough money to be able to afford it. And interestingly enough, on Neon, you can earn enough money to actually buy a cheap clunker ship. So, but the inventory for the ship technician was empty, and it didn't make sense. But it was like, gosh, man, if we just had like some sort of shuttle service where I could get off Neon, go someplace else, and then maybe their inventory might have something, right? If you go someplace, and then so I'm like, so I had a character, and then I mean I'd gotten her up to like level 12, 14, 15, right? And I'm like, I really like this character. I don't want to lose this character, but I can't do anything. I can't do anything else. And I can't get off of Neon, so you're stuck. And it was like, okay, and then I what I did was I believe I deleted that character eventually because I was like, well, I can't. There's nothing else I could do with it, so it was the pointless. And it was so I'm like sitting there going like, man, it would have been awesome to have this to see if I could still keep going, get off there, find a ship, do my stuff. I mean, push come to shove, if you can you'll get there's one quest mod that will give you not yeah, one quest mod that will give you a ship for sure, you know, for doing it. And that is the Trackers Alliance. So if you can get the Aquila, go join the Trackers Alliance and then just do the first opening mission. What do you have to do? You have to take that ship and then go over and then you get a clunker, a junker, but you got a ship now and you can do stuff. And eventually you could modify that ship too if need be, if you know what I mean, if you can't get any others. So there's ways around it, but that was it. And I was like, man, so I kind of wish I still had a save because that'd have been a great playtest right there. All right, we got this character, no ship, no nothing. Let's see if this extra piece right here, this shuttle service, will allow us to go someplace where we can actually maybe get ourselves an actual ship, and then see what happens. Now, the other thing too, though, is, well, will that still allow you to kick off the Constellation quest? And as we know, once you break that quest line, um, it will not kick off. And then, yeah. So it's a very interesting thing. And then it would have been nice to be able to do that, but unfortunately, I deleted all those saves um, for that. So here, what we're doing is we're setting things up, and then right now, yeah, I know, easy. I'm probably gonna go normal on the ship stuff. I don't notice that ship combat is as becomes as hard as regular combat. Um, and then I think at some point we're probably gonna have to switch to normal. Usually around level 20, 25 is when I go to normal, and then around 30, 35 I put it on hard, and then once I get up to around 50, 50 to 60, very hard, and then once you're 80 and above, you just put it on extreme, and then then it's crazy from there. But our difficulty right now is coming from this here, and then with that, this is what they tell you. Um, just go ahead when you start up Dark Star Game Overhaul, punish me. Just go ahead and do it, and then because that will also affect the um your loot. And as you can see right here, changing the setting to adjust how challenging your gameplay will be. Additional loot rewards will be available under Dark Star and Punish Me settings, which your enemies may use against you. So, I mean, yeah, right? You got people, that will heal themselves and stuff like that. And so it's crazy. I will say this, though. The combination of Bedlam and Dark Star Game Overhaul is just insane, because Bedlam will bring in extra enemies, reinforcements. Sometimes you'll get there and there will be two factions. One, another faction's already attacking the one that you're going after, and then all of a sudden they both attack you. You're like, oh my God. And then reinforcements come in. And, it's just crazy. So the purpose of this, one, is to see how things operate. So everything's got to load in and update. I don't know exactly how much stuff we have. Not at the moment, but thank you. Um, One of the things, and then I don't know what happened to all the stuff that was here, but you get this, right? The den under new management. And this crate comes in handy when you're overloaded with stuff, mainly contraband, and they don't have money to buy it off of you. So you can stash it here, and that way you're not traveling it around. That UC guy seems a little upset. All right, so they don't have any money. Our ship is doing good so far. And let's see. I just want to see what he's got.
How may the Trade Authority assist? You won't find a better offer on the station.
All right, I know. All right, I just want to look at his spacesuits real quick. Okay. And see, out in the blackness initialized. Okay, so there's some stuff that could happen. We probably sold him a lot of. He ain't got but 54 credits, so we probably sold him a lot of stuff. Under he does no resources. Okay, that's not good. Consumable, nothing. Aid, nothing. All right. So we only have 28,000 credits. Let's see. Consumables. I'm going to sell the whiskey, the white wine. Oh, he has no money. God dang it. And I sold him something for free then. I'm actually kind of looking at this as a way to see what I have. So we have 2 units of helium. Not good at all. I do have quite a bit of this stuff. Can't sell it to him, so I'm not going to worry about that. But what we're going to do real quick here. Oops, wrong way. Okay, here. So, starting out, right? And we got to set some things up for ourselves. I'm going to take this. I'm going to take that. All these low-level suits. That one I'm not going to do yet because I want to get the mods off of it. So we're going to take that guy, these, and these guys. And then I'm going to go and basically do the same with these helmets, right? And I'm going to take this, the grinder, the lamp, yep, the compass, yep, the mixing bowls. And some of this stuff is worth some money, right? Has some value to it. So I'm not going to, and then what we're going to do. All right, so recycle items. Now, all that stuff I brought in, I'm going to recycle it. Now, this is why I won't play without recycle anymore. This right here, this pure reason here. And what recycle does for you, and you're going to see here in just a minute, and I know I've probably showed this before, but I'm going to show it again. And kind of not looking to sell you on it, but it is me showing you exactly why. Oh shoot, I did not want to. I hit that button by mistake. God dang it. All right, that was total accident. Let me get out of there. I wanted to look at those and boom, hit the button. All right, so we can this. Uh-huh. All right, so we can recycle. Now you see our weight, and then we're done. Now, here's real quick. What did we just do? And this is what we did. We gave ourselves a ton, nice, of adhesive, aluminum, antimicrobial. Look at that, cobalt, copper, right? Ooh. Now, we didn't get any heat. Oh, we did. We got 4 units of helium. That's crazy. I didn't expect that much. We got hypercatalyst. We got a lot of lubricant out of there. Yeah, get your mind out of the gutter. Some nutrients, ornamental, and you can see. So we got quite a bit, and then this is new because it came through Shades Tuner, not wasn't recycled. But we got a lot of good, I think, um, resources out of that, which is good. So I'm happy with that haul. And then, oh, while we're here, let's see. I am going to make a belt. We're going to make an outfit. We're going to go with B1 and D1. Okay. And then we're going to come all the way down. Yeah, you can't run around and save the universe without looking good while you do it. Am I right? Come on now. Somebody tell me different. Okay? And then some people tell me what your favorite outfits that you like to use or put your thing in. I'm gonna put the first one. Now, could we have made these outfits originally? I don't know. I don't know that we could have. All right. Let's go back up. I don't think I have enough helium to make everything that I need, but we will need, this is very important. And this is because of the level of the character. Okay. And first, a purge valve. We are missing 0 wire. So we can't make one. All you need to do is make one of them. But what I do remember is down here, I can make a I'm just gonna make 5 of those. And then we're gonna come back up. As we go past the ship fuel, we're just gonna look to see where we stand. We cannot make any ship fuel. Okay? Requires a lot of helium. We don't have any. We just passed the purge file. This is very important. So we make one of those. We cannot make, at least I don't believe we can. I believe I already have one of those. But emergency reserve. We're missing helium and a mag pressure tank. I'm sure I can make. I mean, how much helium? Let's look at it real quick. Where's my environmental? There it is. Emergency. We have just enough helium to make one mag tank. We can make one. Nice. All right. So we make one of those. There it is. Early 22nd? Okay. All right. Thank you. Boom. So that is what we did. And then luckily those aren't locked too far behind any kind of like requirement that you have to be able to. I want to see what we got here. All right, so the belt, can we add any legendaries? Yes, we can. Can we add a second one? What does that one say? Lead lined. Oh man, it would have been nice to be able to add like an O2 filter or something. So that's it for the legendaries. You can see, ooh, we can boost that up to a level 2. And that's why I go with the Crimex. Because you can see how the clothing items, right? can all be boosted to multiple levels. So this is probably the outfit that we're going to wear. And you can see the protections now. Move up. And then, oh, I just did that one, didn't I? Okay. We're going to boost this one. Okay. And then at some point you can actually change, and then we got +5. Say I can't do it right now because I need the textile work 1 perk. But as you can see, we don't have uh anything. Did I do the D? I did the D. Ooh, that didn't. Yeah, don't. Yeah, ignore me. All right, can we do a specialization? I can do thermal. I want to do thermal on this guy. I want to do. Gosh darn it. And then grade, we can boost that to industrial. All right. Let's see. You can't boost these by levels, right? There's nothing you can do there. So when we get more legendaries, as we pull those off, we can do certain things. Um, I want to go back here real quick. I'm going to show you. Now, one thing that we won't be able to do, which is unfortunate, but that I would love to be able to do. Can't do any more there. You can't. Experimental scrubbers. That right now requires pack mods 2. So with a low level character, you can't put this on, and it's unfortunate. And we don't have all the stuff needed. You need a mag, pressure tank, and then sterile nanotubes. But it would be extremely nice to be able to throw that on, right? Along with, so you throw that on, and then maybe in an O2 booster or something like that. For your suit, can we do basics? Okay, so we can do that. Can I do anything here? But you can see this hyper cure sealant. Now this is a rapid acting. It says sealant works to prevent O2 loss from suit punctures. So with real O2, when you get shot, your suit gets punctured. You lose O2. Okay, so that's another thing you have to be very cognizant of when you're fighting and stuff like that. You're gonna lose O2, from just if you're getting shot. And trust me, it's bad, especially for lower level characters. And I don't know that there's a additional thing here. Let's see. Okay. So those are items and things you want to do and add to your gear so you can actually be out in a zero, O2 environment and not be very under duress, the time that you're out there. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put on the cape, the gloves. I like the jacket. Should I go with the jacket this time? Maybe the jacket. Let's see. And then I like that. Or should we go like that? Can't see the tats, and we lose them on the belly. And then throw on the backpack. Which one looks better? The cape is growing on me. All right. Okay. Yep. So that's us. We lost the belly tattoo, but I'm okay with that. Now, real quick here. So what we're testing today is a lot of stuff, right? So dark site, infiltration, Curie, yeah, infiltration, Rutherford. We're gonna definitely take the 20,000K mission. Hijack. Ooh, I love the hijacked ones for sure. We're gonna take the kill that spacer. I'm claims assessment. That one sounds really crazy. Experiment, neon water quality, recovery. We're gonna do one for the clinic and probably delivery. And then predator infestation, and then predator infestation. And I think I gotta be honest with you, I think that is good enough right now. You see how many we took? And you see how many more? That's why I love the overtime mod, the Dark Universe overtime mod. It just because some of them, I mean, they're not, they're standard, simple mods, but the hijacked ones, I like those because those are ships. You go out there and then you can take those ships, and so it puts a new it gives, so it presents you with a new thing. So hey, go over here. This ship has been hijacked. Go destroy it. But instead of destroying it, you can take it. And I'm like, yeah, I'll do that. I'm all for that. So I like that. Hey, I think you might need to top me off right now. Ooh,
Got anything you need to offload? Trade Authority is always buying. Kiosk right here for you.
I don't have enough money for a vehicle. I need a vehicle, but I don't have enough money for a vehicle. Does that make sense? Um, no. Good, good. All right, let's look at our ship again. All right, so fuel. See, right now the fuel is okay. Okay. All right, we got some stuff we got to do. All right, here we go. Dang it, that's gonna take all my money. Okay, now we need to go make some money real quick here.
What can I do for you?
I need to view and modify my ship, please. All right. What I'm going to do is this. I'm going to create a copy, put you there. Then I'm going to create a copy and put you there. Now, what this did was it did put 60 more fuel on our ship, right? So our fuels should be 330. And then it just added another 1K of cargo space to the ship. So we're good there. Now, you see, I have a cargo hull, right? And that cargo hull actually does put cargo on our ship ability, or right. So if I were to take it away, let's just kill it. Oh, I still have 57 cargo. Really? Undo. Really? I thought there was, they should have been. Okay, if that, okay, then I'm not going to be mad at you. All right, so we're going to go to Habs, and then we're going to go and we're going to battle stations, right? Uh-oh, we might be in trouble. Um, all right. We don't have enough money. We do not have enough money. So what I am going to do though, is that the only fuel tanks? Is this? Okay, we might have to talk to the other guy. How much is that? That's 9K. I understand. Right? How much is a workshop? How much is a workshop? I would love to have. Oh, where's my Habs? Okay, so 2x1. It's only 3K. All right. All right. So bear with me here. All right. So, oh, this is why. This is why the card. Oh, okay. I gotcha. I gotcha. I'm picking up what you're putting down right now. I understand now. It's all making a little bit of sense now. Okay, so this is a companionway. What are you? The reactor. And what are you? Another cargo hold. Okay. That is what the deal is. Gosh dang it. What are you? You are living quarters. You are captain's quarters. And then what we have is an engineering bay down below. We got the control station right up here. And then right below, can I get in there? Can I get in there? Like I want to, but I don't want to mess with it too much. Okay. Mm. Mm. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yep. All right. Do we like red? Um let's see. I think our primary color. Where are you? Yeah, no, we're not making a pink ship. How dare you even suggest a thing? All right. And then okay, you want to be difficult, so we will try to make it less difficult. Seriously? Seriously? Okay. And then you. Seriously? Okay, I see no changes, so we're just gonna leave it. All right. All right, so we got 10K left. All right. Now, look how much it's gonna cost us to top out the fuel tanks. And what do we add? We added one fuel tank. One. Gas is expensive.
You got it.
You know what I'm saying? I'd like to go find those places where it's $1.99 a gallon, but gas is expensive out here. Okay, so we've done all we can there, and then all the money that we could have made. Yes. All right. Nothing should have changed. We didn't change anything around. Um. Yeah. Trust me, if they had a 3x3 battle stations, I probably would have changed that. All right. Look, we do have 2 refined ship fuel. Um, so that is okay, but we are gonna run into some troubles. Okay, undock, and let's figure out what we're gonna have to do first. Now, what I'm testing out, right? We're testing out a bunch of things right now. Okay, first thing off the bat is we got Watchtower that's going to kick in here at some point in time. There's another mod that could kick in, OSO, and then real fuel and a real O2. We got to see what we're really trying to do is and find out here is how, what do these mods look like on a low level character? Some mods are made for higher level characters, and then so some of the, I want to say I'm not gonna call it a paywall, but some of the things that you have to have accomplished, are generally something you would have done as a higher level character, and it's so you don't have the same access to them as at being a low level character like we are right now. So some of these things we're just not able to do, and or you can see we don't have a whole lot of carry weight on us. So trying to carry around these extra packs and things like that can get in the way. And then some things we are carrying around, we may not actually need um, with us, like the cob and the amps. I don't use them, so it's not generally something I need. But under consumable, you can see the emergency reserve. We're going to need that. Um, I don't know where my purge thing got to. Let me look under consumable here. I might have and I've done this before, accidentally just gotten rid of it. And sadly, in a fight, on a planet with no oxygen, needing it, and then all of a sudden, did I not? Could I not? Okay. And then mail consignment. I don't know what. Oh, this is a delivery we got to make. We might as well. That might as well be the first one we do. So we're looking at all these systems trying to run together on a low level character. Granted, our character is level 16 now, but it's still, she's not, she hasn't gone to Constellation yet. I am going to choose this because this is a perk that now appears after doing the second Veil quest mod. We are going to come over here. You can see she has pistol and ballistics. And then this can be improved. She has textiles. I need one more here. Payloads. But you know what I'm going to do? Security. All right, so we can do master level now. All right, so that's where those points are going. And then, so here we are. And then, we might as well, let's see, we got a whole bunch of stuff, but we got to deliver, I believe the package is Kumasi. Let's show me where that is and how far can we get there. It looks like you're saying we can get there. We got to be very, very careful here. Like I said, I've been having major problems with real fuel, and I have the Cassiopeia Papyrus extender, loaded for PC. This is on PC, so I have that loaded. And then I also went in and I was like, okay, maybe I didn't have the patch. Turns out I did have the patch loaded. So I've got real fuel, that, and the patch. And I also used, and as we saw before, I created it or said, yes, use the, the Cassiopeia to do the calculation. That could be my mistake. That could be where it's messing up. I think at the end of this video, I'm going to attach a video that solely shows what the calculations are doing in one of my playthroughs and show how far off they are. Again, and then I know I've said it multiple times, I am willing to deal with a 10 to 20% variance there, right? From what shows on screen to what is actually being calculated. But what I'm getting is more between 300 to 700% variance. Yes, 3 to 7 times the amount that's being used than what's being showed on screen, and that's unacceptable. And that's just what I no, can't do it. So we got to be very careful here when we do this. So deliver box at electrical substation on Kumasi. All right. See, right now the consumption is 57. 57 units out of 330. Okay? To me, an acceptable, it's not acceptable, but I can live with 10 to 20% variance. So anywhere from 6 to 12 more units. Okay. You know, so if it takes, and I'll even go a little higher and say, okay, if it takes 70 units, I can live with that. 70, 75, I can live with that. If once we start looking at double what this is or even higher, then yeah, we got problems. We got major problems going on. Now, the question becomes, okay, fuel consumption, then does cargo determine, play a factor in how much fuel is being burned? So is the amount of cargo you have on your ship, is that increasing the amount of fuel that's needed? My thing is this pops up on screen, this number, this is the number you should be aiming for in the calculation. The calculation should be dead on with this number. With, okay, a slight variance. If it says 56.96, we can live with 58, 59. You see what I'm saying? It's got to be very tight and very close. Why? Because this is the number you are showing the people. This is the number we see. Does not matter if you put a little blurb on the mod page saying that the number can be off. Does not matter. This is the number you see. And then I think that's the part that's getting lost here. People are looking at this and they're relying on what they see on the screen here. If this number is not correct, then when we come out and when we grav jump and we end up in our space and a different number appears there, that number should be the number that transplants this number. Figure it out. Before you charge me money for it, figure it out. Figure out how that number that's there gets here. Or there should be another little thing on the screen. You can't see where I'm pointing. I'm pointing down below. We're saying actual fuel cost is this amount. Put it right there down below, under the box or something, or let it come over top, right? And if that's the case, then we look at it and we go, oh, actual cost is off. You know what I mean? It should appear. It appears when you arrive. It should show up before you depart, because this number is the only number I have to go with now. And then that number, the new number, is very quick. So we're going to go ahead and jump. And then we got to look for it. We got to really, really look for it, because it comes up and it doesn't stay on screen that long. Auto saving. Continue. All right. I'm not going to touch a thing. I'm not looking anywhere elsewhere. All right. I'm going to ignore them for a minute. Okay. And see, this is the unfortunate thing, right? Watchtower has come in and ganked our screen and it's taken over. And so if it was going to show me what the thing was, it's not going to show me now. I'm going to hit the accept button just to see if I can see. I don't even care what they're saying. I'm looking for what's going to happen here. And then I'm going to say, who are you? You have no authority over me. Oh, it sure does. If you want me to listen. Okay. Now, I've already once submitted and say, I'll comply. I don't want any trouble, right? No, we're not doing that today. We're not doing that today. I want to see what it does when we say, screw you. You don't have authority over me. It still hasn't appeared on my screen yet how much fuel it took. Do you see we got hit? See, I don't think it matters, but I do want to do an. Oh gosh! So in this state, there's nothing we can do. All right, hold on. God dang it! So yeah, you're kind of poop out of luck. So it doesn't matter if you comply or if you attack, you fight, and I. Latent manifestation. So basically, they had no cause to pull me over. If it is, you know, what it feels like. It feels like I'm a U.S. citizen dealing with ICE right now. Right? Right? But sir, we have his passport right here. We have his birth certificate. It don't matter. He's brown. Lock him up. I'm just saying. Okay? I'm just saying.
Hair's a little shorter, I think.
I
I don't know, hard to tell.
I did a little bit different with it.
I'm really sure you're you. And it looks like I found you not a moment too late. Pins and needles all over. Am I right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Nasty thing, that beam of theirs. First blast disables your ship. Second disables anyone on board.
Yeah. Hasn't it?
Yeah. You won't be able to talk for a while. Or move, either. Your neurons are all scrambled. But don't worry, it'll wear off. Eventually. Just try not to strain yourself.
Those jumps.
You don't say. Well, I'd love to continue this enthralling dialogue we've got going on, catch up on old times, but clock's ticking, so listen carefully.
Mm-hmm.
These guys who attacked you, it wasn't by accident. And if I hadn't intervened, you'd be on your way to a max security prison right now.
Mm-hmm.
These guys, they will come for you again, and right now there's precious little you could do to stop them. Listen, there'll be enemy reinforcements here at any moment, so I'm gonna use my ship to lure them away. Give them something else to chase for a while. Once you can walk again, come find me at these coordinates.
Sure will.
I'll do everything I can to keep you safe.
Promises, promises.
Now, let's get you out of this and back to your ship.
Okay, so all right, so one thing that I did the last time, okay, this is, and I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna do it again. I don't know how dangerous, and then oh shoot. Okay, so there's a couple of things that one thing I totally forgot to do that I should have done. And that is got rid of the chameleon. Having the chameleon mod on is not good. Something is not working right with. Okay, he took some of these people out for me. All right, thank you. So it's not currently working as it should, and what's happening is that you're ending up invisible all the time. And so the best thing to do is just take the mod. There is a mod out there that disables the chameleon effect. And it's like, well, okay, so I'm getting a mod to disable another mod, you know, an actual mod in the game. Okay. Or I can just not put it on any of my equipment. So one of the things I always do is if I have a piece of gear that has chameleon on it, I take it off. And it's unfortunate, but that is one thing. Okay, second thing. I have a new quest mod on my in my loadout called the Benjamin Dune and the Triangle of Infinity. Well, unfortunately, there is a issue with that mod. Oh, I thought we actually killed these guys ourselves. Interesting that we didn't kill them. And then, so one of the side effects of having that mod attached or in your load order is that it causes problems with your I'm gonna use this. All right, Heliox. That's what we want, but we, as you can see, I have the medical treatment. I just don't have enough helium. Um, what else can I make? I can make some more bandages. I'm gonna make a few of those and some snake oil. All right. And as a matter of fact, we're not gonna give the chameleon mod a reason, and I think it actually has to do with the nano suit that's causing that unfortunate problem. Okay. Now, I don't know how much more I want to go through and loot. Tell you the truth, we don't do chunks anymore. But I am going to take it because I have to feed my crew. They're cannibals. Well, I may not have a crew right now, but I will. Government cheese, got to get that. Hey, don't sleep on government cheese, man. Government cheese is not. It sustained my family when I was a kid. All right, let's see. I could have sworn there was some fighting on this ship. I didn't think everybody was dead. Don't get me wrong. Hey, the landing bay. Okay. All right. Yeah, I think I'm not gonna sleep on here. That'd be crazy. Hey, you abducted me, and my buddy came through and killed all of you. But instead of just getting out of here while I could, I decided to just go ahead and go to sleep. I don't. Where's the? Does this go up? Ah, it goes up. Okay. Right into the flight deck. Ooh, look at that weapon case. What do we got? A space adept. Anybody up here? Anybody home? Hello? Hello? Is Pico there? Nope. All right. Oh, we want the money. We need the money. All right. And I'm not certified, but hey, spaceship has been added to your what's the name? Oh, okay. Whew. All right, how do we get out of here? All right. And if we wanted to look real quick, so right now, that 56 may have actually been pretty close because it looks like we still have a decent amount of fuel. So we'll see. We'll keep it going. I like real fuel when the calculation is reasonably close. It's when it's way off that I just get very frustrated. Very frustrated. And oh wait. Okay. Let's look at this is the unknown vessel. Very interesting. Okay. Um Undock. All right. That's our vessel now. We got a mission to finish. I hate to say it, but we need to make some money. I need to make some money. I need some money. I need some money, y'all. I need some moolah. All right, here we go. Yeah, my singing is not what's going to win me awards at all. Okay, yeah, my personality either. But that, you know, I've come to, look, I've come to terms with this fact long time ago. My mom, rest her soul, which thing she used to always tell me, she goes, I am honorary. And I go, well, guess what? I can't deny. I can't deny, you know. I know what I like, I know what I don't like, and I'm ornery and obstinate enough to where you can't tell me. Let's see. I don't know where we gotta go. Oh, well, shoot. You know what it's done? I don't want to do that. I want to do this. Come on, man. I landed, right? Or do I need to go someplace else? Hold on. Get out of here. All right, let's just make sure it is. Oh my gosh. How far is that? All right. It's at the electrical substation. Hold on a sec. Oh, we don't even, oh my gosh. We have nobody. We have nobody. Like, nobody. I saw this thing that said Autumn Jungle Bloom. I was like, is that a person? Like, that's a very interesting name, right? What's over there? All right. You notice I went the other way, away from the animals, instead of just saying, "Hey, let's go pet the aliens." Yeah, we ain't got nothing better to do. We got nothing better. Petting the aliens. Come on. Who's all for a round of, yeah, we're going to play Russian roulette with our fingers. Yes. They seem to be having a big enough fight with themselves. The way I'm looking at it, they're just, who are they fighting? Who's fighting who? Everybody seems angry. Why so angry? Why so close? Oh, come on now. See, this is what I'm talking about. I hit that button. Oh, no. Oh, shoot. Why you gotta be like that? Oh, dude, are you trying to climb a tree? That's impressive. All right, the fact that it's taking a serious amount of clips. Oh, and what's the name isn't kicking in either. One of the mods isn't kicking in, isn't doing anything right now. That's annoying. TG's Galactic Harvest is not kicking in. It's enabled. It just isn't kicking in. Is this where we gotta go? Actually. Too bad that's not helium. Okay, we got a little weed out here. Oh, shoot. Seriously? Seriously? You had to make it like this difficult to get here? Well. Hello? Anybody home? Oh, come on now. All right. This is interesting. Well, it's interesting because I can't get in this way. There is a hole. Can I? All right. Let's see if we can maneuver our way. Crap. Okay. Okay. You're gonna be like that. Gonna be an ish. Itch. Can we jump up? All right. Fine. We'll work around your negativity. Oh, let's jump down on the power cells. And oh, dang, that hurt. Did it hurt?
Yes? Howdy.
Howdy. Who are you? Oh, hey, you're an art mic worker. All right. Why is your stuff not presenting as stealing if I take it as opposed to what's the name? What's that hitch? There's a hitch. Getting a stutter. Kind of a hitch in my giddy up.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing? All right. I'm not going to consume. I'm going to take that. Well, actually, I'm going to take this too. I'm going to take anything you let me take. To be honest with you. I'll take that. I got no... Look, you know what? There ain't no shame to my game. If it's not glued down and it doesn't have a little tag on it that says it's stealing, then you know what? It comes with. You guys got to learn, you got to figure out. Okay, so I don't know what you need to do, but there's a little thing. It's like a little red tag you can put on your stuff. I think we got it. Oh, and look at this, the remote space mission data slate. So we delivered the package, and then where we put the stuff, boom, there's a new slate. And now Crimson Anchorage is a dark site at Voli Epsilon. So we can destroy Crimson Anchorage at Voli Epsilon. And then look, hijacked. So we could do that one too. Here's the one thing I do not suggest doing. Once the Watchtower quest kicks in, and I'm gonna show you what happens. So we can jump. This is where we were trying to jump up into, but we couldn't. Once the Watchtower quest kicks in, you can still just go off and do whatever you want. Are you nope, you're not a provisioner? All right. Well, fine. Be that way. But I think you're going to continuously get attacked as you keep moving around, right? So we're going to jump and try to take we're going to jump to one of these other places and act as though, you know, the mod, you know, we're not worried about meeting up with this with the one guy. That's interesting. Okay, I think we're all done here. Okay, so with O2, I think with real O2, there's really no fast travel. Now, I can say that. What's this? Destroy Crimson Anchorage at Voli Epsilon. Where is my ship? So my ship is over there. Right? Did we scan everything that's scannable? Okay. So my ship's over there. I'm going to click on landing site. Oh, wait. Is it because... Oh, Never mind. Never mind. There's O2 on this world. Okay, never mind. I believe in the planets where there's no O2, there's no fast travel. You can't do this. Okay, so here we are. Let's go. Let's get going. But I do think with real fuel and all those other things, like, all right, so say I decided I did want to do this. Can I set course and just jump without being on my ship? And look at the consumption. Ooh, that's a lot of consumption. All right, hold on. Can we, oh, wait, I was in the right place. All right, can we port in a storm? I was ambushed. Okay, we don't want to do that. Let's do the, all right, which one? Okay, so you got a Stellar Corsair or the Eon Voyager. Let's try the Eon. Wait, where's this one? All right, wait. Show me on map. I don't. Okay, no, that's too far. All right. God dang it. Show me on map. How far is that? Oh, that's yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we're not we're not going there. Okay. We could do the Pirate Corsair one because I think it's like 13K, I think. All right, so let's go ahead and do that one and then set course. Yep, and yeah, so it's basically the same amount of fuel going back. Ah, there it is. See, interstellar travel unavailable. So with the real fuel mod, what is going on is this: you got to go up. You got to be sitting in the seat or up in space. Does that make sense? Like if I was in space already, I think you can just go ahead and do it from right here. But since I'm landed, I believe I have to go and sit in the chair. We're going to test it right now. See, got to go sit in the chair. So, I mean, is it a little bit annoying? I'm not going to say annoying, but it can be a little tedious after a bit, right? And you have to you have to be very cognizant of it. And as long as you know, once you get it down, yeah, I gotta board my ship. I gotta go sit in the seat if I want to go do it. And then once I'm in the seat, you know, I can go ahead and do it. And then hopefully this time when we arrive, there it is, 133. 133. So it told us 57, but it took 133. That's more than double. So not overly happy with that. That's out of our comfort zone. Now, first things first. Where's your cargo? There it is. All right, come on. Before I get blown out of the sky, I gotta take somebody's going at me. I got no shields. Oh shoot. And I got nobody on my ship. Guess what we doing? That really sucks. Before they blow us all up. Keep going. Keep doing it. Don't worry. That really sucked. Okay, so you see, it's that Viper Vega. I don't want to say that that's the ship that took us out, but the sheer number of ships there in the system just was not okay. Not it just wasn't good. Was not good. And God dang it. Let me look real quick though. Stop. Stop. All right. There's a Viper. Look at all the ships. Spacer Hyena. Yeah, there's just too many. I gotta be honest with you, there's just too many. Now, all right, let's collect ourselves. All right, so we're at half our fuel right now. But I gotta be honest with you, I'm not 100% certain what I trust right now. And then, so what I'm looking at, okay, so we got half our fuel, and it told us, because it popped up when we got in there, that it used up 113 units. That's not. Is that correct? That is not correct. Why do I say it's not correct? Because 113 units left from, is what, about 200 and something? Was it 130? It was 133 units. So that put us at 197. So then we jumped back. That was the jumping back was the 133. So what did we use going forward? Right? Was that only 60 units? And then right now, basically, it seems like it's telling us we used more units than we did. All right, first things first. Why did I just think? Oh, I should have did shields first instead. Yeah, I know. Just made us more of a glass cannon instead of able to. What do I got? Oh, I got a bunch of stuff. All right, so I'm gonna get rid of you. Get rid of you. 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 I don't know what I should keep and what I should get rid of. Mm-hmm. 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 Got that. Got that. Okay, so we got this gun. Mm-hmm. What's this? Yeah, nope. We got 0 rounds for it anyway, so I'm not worried about it. All right. This is the new Watchtower suit. It looks a lot like the Praetorian suit. Oh shoot. You didn't have that one. Let's see. Very interesting helmet. I know I hate jumping away like that, but what we're gonna do is sit there and just get blowed up. Gotta live to fight another day. All right, gotta get these weapons sorted. One there. One there. Don't like space adept anything, but I don't think I have a choice. All right. You can see we don't really have any serious weapons on us. Okay. One impact grenade, really. Okay, med pack. Bandages. I think that's... Holy cow. Where's our snake oil? Okay. And then we're going to have to leave this down here just in case. Because how many med packs we got? 66. See, low-level characters are much more difficult with all the stuff that we have here. Consumable, though. We need you to be out there, and then also let's put you there, and then I think to start 130 rounds, 20,000 rounds. Whoa. 0 rounds, not doing as much good. 200 rounds, and then all right, looks like we're just starting out with a regular pistol. Okay. What's over here? Oh, shoot. Do not hail. Stay away from that. We're not ready for that. Not yet. That's a different mod. That is at Hell's Gate. All right, let's do it. Quick save. Set course for Sithonia. All right. It says we're at about 50%. So what are we? We're sitting at about 165. And then it's saying it's going to take us 25 units. Let's see what happens. All right. Shipping crate has been left for us. Let's go get some. And you know what? Again, I got distracted by the shipping crate. Did not look to see what it said. So let's just go back and look. All right. So supposedly it didn't use that much of the fuel that we have. But here's where, and then herein lies the problem. I don't know that I trust any of this now. I don't know how much fuel I have. There's no true indicator anywhere that tells me how much fuel I have. So I'm kind of sitting there going like, the last thing you want to do is to kind of like be relying on something that's just completely inaccurate. All right. Okay. All right, so this is 002. Keep an eye on your chronomark. This is where we're going. All right. Okay, so if you look here, fast travel unavailable. All right. When we get into places like this, trust me, we have to go and grab the helium while we can. Supply train. Don't you wonder what that is? If I had a vehicle, I would go check it out, but I don't. And you can see our O2 is running low. Well, it's not running low, but you can see we're already expending expended quite a bit of it. Somebody notice us? Yeah, you are. Stop being so jumpy. Let me just kill you. That way you don't have to worry about it. Okay, once we kill this one, it's all heck gonna break loose. Okay, that did not go like as planned. This is supposed to be... Yeah, we're gonna have problems. Ankles. Ankles. Where's your ankles? Yeah, duck. I will shoot ankles and knees. Who's got what? You got something? All right, I gotta get indoors. Have you had enough? Okay, we'll come back for you later. I gotta get inside. Oh, let's say it. Are you shooting through the door? All right. One less thing to worry about as far as man, I wish I had more bullets. It helps if I don't shoot them into the door. Alright. Somebody come on. Somebody come on. Well, yeah, for right now, yes. I don't see you doing much better, though. Shoot him in the face. That's my strategy. It always works best. Now you can see this guy is a level 32, the one that they want me to take out. I got burns. That jingle, jangle, jingle. All right. Anything worthwhile while we're here? Yeah, we'll take that. We'll take the fibers. Yes, I know. Leaving that spot might have turned out to be very dangerous. But there was money over here. There was loot over there. I'm gonna get shot in the back. Whoop, whoop, whoop. All right. God dang it. I had 0 rounds for that one. This one. Is it? Am I yours? I think you're kind of overthinking your ability to woo me. If you thinking I'm yours, we just met. Okay. Me neither. So come on down so I can shoot you in the face. Somebody's shooting somewhere. Somebody's finding time. Okay. All right. Well, come on down and make it so. I got people watching, and you know they probably want to see it happen one way or the other. Me go down or you go down. My preference would be you, but you never know. Their preference could be you teach me something. As long as my prey. Ooh. Hasn't jumped ship.
I'm gonna find you.
I think it's the other way around. I'm actively seeking you out. You're just yelling.
Don't come back.
You seem to believe I left. Which is probably the best kind of stealth. Do I have any grenades yet? Okay, I do. All right, good. Do I have anything? All right, I am. Let's get rid of that. I got nothing for burns. I got plenty for burns. Heal gel. Okay. Come on out, Sonny. Come on out, Sonny Jim. And you only get like that was annoying. Holy cow, you had a lot of stuff on him. All right. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, why do I collect so much food? Because one of the mods that I have on Spacefaring Economy, I believe, requires you to actually feed your crew. And so you will get messages and updates if you have a crew of how much food they have eaten. And that actual piece ties into their morale. So if you don't have fuel on the food on the ship, they can't eat, and then they get mad, right? Morale goes down. And yes, they will imbibe too. So they will drink your alcohol. And oh, hidden treasure. There are, I think, 1,200 hidden treasures throughout the galaxy, pretty much. So you can run across. So it's supposed to be reasons to explore. So now you can, um, while you're looting, going about your normal, everyday, average looting stuff, you can actually run into a hidden treasure from time to time. Oh, I hit the wrong button. It's not what I wanted to do. Open up. All right. This is what we wanted. Okay. I think we got everybody, didn't we? We got to be careful up here. You see that right there? Thought that was a mine. Oh, nope, just a rock. Okay. Are we over encumbered? We sure are. So now one of the things, like, and I've been, I guess, pretty vocal about it, is I am not a fan of the use. I mean, I kind of understand it in the sense that the game does limit your options. So you don't have a lot of options on what to use for this mod, right? So this mod, basically affects your O2 supply. Well, the game also uses O2 as a way of, limiting and, controlling your stamina. For me, when I think of O2 and your oxygen and then your stamina, I don't necessarily view it as an end all be all. Your stamina is solely based on how much oxygen you have, right? And so when you are running, yes, but it replenishes, and as it should. When you're over encumbered and your stamina goes down, it replenishes, and it should. And and that's how it basically limits how much you can do it in certain statuses, right? And this mod also uses your oxygen, right? Because that's what it's supposed to do. And the part that I have issue with is the part where it uses, hold on a sec. Okay, so right now, my oxygen went down because I was over encumbered, and then but you can see it doesn't replenish. It doesn't come back. Yes, when you add in the scrubbers onto your boost pack, when you add in other things, yes, it will replenish some. But right now, and I've said this before, and I know somebody in my comments came back and said something, and then it's like, well, you missed the whole point, dude. The point is, okay, so you can see we have a little bit of red bar, and then we have whatever oxygen we have left. The mechanic, in my opinion, and remember, it's my opinion, and it would be my preference, right? Doesn't matter. Just like you don't care what I'm thinking, it's my opinion, my preference is that if you're going to use that same mechanic, so then it's going to deplete naturally on its own because we're going to run out of oxygen. But when you run and then it's supposed to, come back a little, what I'm saying is it should come back, but then the red piece should increase a little as a result of you running, right? So it comes back less. It comes back, but it comes back less than what it was before. There is your cost to run. There's your cost for being over encumbered. That makes more sense to me and is more palatable than what we get, what we have here, right? So for me, it's like, yeah, I'm not crazy about how it was handled. So, but then again, that's me, that is my opinion. That's what I'm entitled to. That is a particular entitlement that people are allowed to have and should have. It's your opinion is like, it is your opinion. It is how you feel. And again, it is also your preference is also your preference. It's when you start trying to push it onto other people and enforce it onto other people and hold it against other people if they are not of the same mindset or think the same way or prefer the same thing. That's when you run into issues, major issues. But right now, my opinion is, and preference would be, it shouldn't be how it is. Now, I think when I just leveled up, it gave me everything back. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure what gave me what's the name back. But I do know, and then, like I said, I'm going to show you. And then we're going to see. We're going to make sure, because I could be talking out my butt right now. All right. So, what I would expect is for the red bar to increase a little bit, but the oxygen to replenish somewhat. Right? So there should be a cost, but not to the point where it's a complete total cost. Right? Because that means if you find yourself in a situation when you need to run, you're out of oxygen. And if you don't have an emergency kit, you're screwed. And so for me, that really, like I said, I'm not a fan of that. All right, I think we already, god dang it. I think we already hit that one, so, and I don't know that there's any others that we could come hit. Well, while we're out here, might as well. Problem is, you get too close. There we go. And, so right now, we got a lot of numbers that pop on the screen for us that tell us that this, it cost you this, it took this, and we just don't know what to believe. And here's the thing, I'm not willing. Is this planet cold or hot? 284 degrees. Does it seem like it seems like an ice planet, doesn't it? So one of the things we can do real quick here, use the purge valve. All right. And then we just got to make sure we don't store that away. And then once we board our ship, our oxygen should replenish itself. So for a low level character, that really does matter, right? Low level, all that comes into play, and you have to be very, very cognizant of it. You know, you have to truly keep an eye and pay attention to it. But what I'm saying here right now is that aside from really paying attention to that, we really got to pay attention to our fuel and then what the numbers are. Because again, I'm just, what the frick, man? What in the world? I think there's a mod out there that locks all your stuff down so it doesn't go flying around. That is unacceptable. And it's like, well, dang. Okay, so we have managed to jump a couple of times and not have to deal with. And what we're going to do is we're going to transfer some stuff. Wait. Before we transfer anything, let's see what we can make. All right, so we can make a few more things. I can make a mission board, but first I can make this too. All right, I only have one positron battery. And right now, you are just as good a place as any to set you. All right, can we still do a mission board? Yes. Might as well just put you right there. And we can do, a bounty board. Can we? No, we can't. And nope. Okay. And we can't do that either. All right. And then come back this way. Oh, we can still do some stuff if we wanted to. An industrial table. The portable diagnostics lab. I thought we had one already. But let's just go ahead and set you right there, just in case. All right. And then this, and this. All right. And then over here, we're going to take our resources, put it on the ship. All right. And then any food. So butter, that. Mm-hmm. Okay. So let's get over here. Don't remind me again. All right. So weapons. So 30. Uh-huh. Not many rounds for this guy. Uh-huh. Okay. And then, yep, we can put that guy in there. And then we can go ahead, put that in. that one, and then you, and you. And then we have some apparel that has stuff on there. So this guy had that. Okay. Am I not wearing this belt? Better put it on. Okay. And then I don't want to do it, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to cheat a little bit. Let's go back here real quick. Because I think I have space right here. All right. And before we do anything else, so we got a belt. And I don't think we were even wearing it. All right. Repulsing. That's the only one we have. We have 2 of them. Might as well just go ahead and put you on there. We got a bunch of legendaries. All right, I'm gonna put you on there out of necessity. And then where's my fastened? All right. Yep. And I don't think we have. Oh, we do have repulsing. Do they stack? Well, for now, let's give it a try. Let's see. And then the cape, I'm gonna put. What's this? Sturdy, yeah. Real quick, and then what else do we have? We'll put the automatic on there. Can't do anything else there. And then the backpack, we can put anti-ballistic, and then antiseptic. Okay. And then we really put that on. All right, so either galvanized or lead lined or weapon holsters. Okay. Can we put it on yet? Oh, yeah. All right. Yeah. What was I thinking? Can we put anything on here? Ooh, oxygen reserve. Yes. Please. Oh, okay. I don't think. Can we get one more? Galvanized, lead lined, and that's it. Radiation. All right. Okay. And doesn't help to have a decent belt and not be wearing it. Okay. Let's see. You know what? Oh my gosh. Guys, why'd you let me do that? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. So we will take that off. And instead. Seriously? We don't have any. Okay. At least we got that. That's weird. Okay. Not going to. I'm going to take that. I'm not going to. Where you at? All right. Refuel. All right. So what it's doing is loading the helium in. We still don't have a whole lot of it, but it says we're at 84%. Do we believe that? Okay. Skill points. We need all the help we can get. Oh, we're a long way from there. Surveying. Seriously? We go. All right. Yeah. Did it give me the option to add? That'd be refuel, right? They didn't say add ship to fleet. Okay. Let's see how far we can get. Where are you? In the Alpha Centauri system. We don't have any. Hopefully we don't. Hopefully we don't have any. All right, so that should only take us, what, 19? We're going after the Stellar Corsair. Okay. You see.
You are entering United Colony space. Please maintain course and prepare to be scanned.
Trader Atlas.
Scan complete. No contraband detected. You are cleared for landing at New Atlantis.
All right. We're not going to New Atlantis, though. Thank you. All right. We're going to scan, though. And then we're going to dip out. And then we need to go all the way over here. Now, what's interesting is here, we haven't been attacked by Watchtower. We have not been attacked again by Watchtower. And in a different playthrough, as soon as we jumped somewhere else to go after a ship, boom, it was all heck broke loose. And seriously, there had to be about 10, 15 Watchtower ships in there, if not more. And it was just crazy. My laser, man. Whoa. Nobody wants to drive with me, that's for sure. As a matter of fact, it was so bad that even the ship that I was chasing, they had taken it out already. They took it out before I could. I still got credit for it, I believe. All right, there we go. Oop, wrong button. God dang it. All right, come on. So since they're not coming after me like the last time, then I guess we can be more comfortable in saying, okay, so at our leisure, we can go and meet up with that guy. The problem was the problem that we ran into. Shields offline. Where's my guns? Did I not modify them? I did not modify them, but we are going. Okay, that's 40. So that's what we got right there. That's not. We got plenty of ammunition for this guy, so we will be using this guy. Oh shoot, that sucks. I like automatic weapons a little bit more, but I didn't have a bench, so I didn't set these weapons up the way I like them. So we're just going with whatever they give, whatever we got. What the frick? Oh, I must have hit it and didn't notice. Well, no. What happened was he left all the clothes on her, so I didn't know that I had hit it, and it wasn't available to me anymore. All right, I'm trying to get my bearings on this, on where everything is at, and all right, we got to go up there. It's gonna suck. That's why it's gonna suck. I'm paying. Talking all that jive and not even able to back it up a little bit. A little bit. Just a little bit, man. Just a little bit. Ooh. Should we go back? Nope, they didn't have any money, so... But I can store these. Crap. Gotta be very careful what we do next. Alright. Ooh, this is my blood probably right there. Dang blasted. Let's see. I think we got everything that we needed. That's our exit. We got everything from there and there. Hold on a sec. All right, no. All right, I'm not certified. That's fine. Good. All right. Stellar Corsair. That is a weird. Isn't it? Just I like symmetrical. I do. So that is very like just why? Know what I mean? Interesting though. Okay. Oh, we got skill points. I got spurs that jingle, jangle, jingle. All right. You know what we got to do? Unfortunately, we got to give ourselves the shotgun. We probably never will use the shotgun with this character. Well, we will if we do the Hell's Gate, but we needed the rifle certification, so we had to do that. What level are we? 19. So, what is going on with our character? Our character is a transporter. If you learn one thing from your career as a transporter, it's that the more you can carry, the more you can sell. Simple enough, but when you focus on it, you can really maximize space. So it gives us a little bit extra to payloads, right? So we're wanted, someone to put a price on your head. We got strong back. Your spine is incredibly inflexible. The increased support gives you plus 75 carry weight, but with no curvature to absorb the impact, you take twice as much fall damage. Can't be combined with other physical traits. And then we're a space hauler, right? Goes with the whole transporter theme, doesn't it? Your ships have an additional 10% cargo space, but have 15% less ship boosting fuel. Can't be combined with other engineering traits. So, there you have it. Alright. So, that is it. I believe we've collected everything that we can while we're here. Ooh, no, we almost missed the vacuum tape. I think that's it though. All right. Okay. Star map. We're going to scan. And we're not going to spend too much, even though, I mean, come on now. Look at this. There's a ship here. Powerful hostile signal there. There's a concealed signal there. But we're not going to play around, right? Because the last thing we want to do is get scanned again. But we are going to go back to the wolf system. And what is over here? Powerful hostile signal. We're staying away from that powerful hostile signal. We will jump back to the den. Who? Who's firing at who? They're blue right now. You see. You see. Oh, there's a red. There's a red. Should we let them take him? I just want to get my little 2 cents in. We're not locked yet. We didn't get credit. Hey, I'm just in here to pick them clean when you kill them. What else are you fighting at?
I want that ship in pieces.
What ship? What ship? What ship in pieces? We're flying around and they could be talking about us. You never know. Wait, over here. Over here somewhere. Click around. Click around. Who you guys fighting with? My dog is freaking out for some reason.
Guns, sustain fire.
Oh, they're shooting at something. Over here?
Grav is offline.
Alright, well, nothing I can do about it. Oh, look. Oh, shoot. They got taken out by somebody. Who took them out? Yeah, we're going to pick them clean. Come on now. I mean, it's loot. Alright, so looks like, I mean, yeah, whoever's fighting with who is all done and said for. So, let's find the den. There you are. All right. One thing, and then here's another thing. I'm gonna have to go back and look at the video because yeah, when we jumped in, I didn't look. See, like I said, it flashes up there in the corner so quickly. You just unless you're like remembering to look, you don't know. You don't know. You just don't know what it's telling you as far as the amount of fuel you used. And then when you come down here, it was supposed to only use 20, right? So the two jumps we did with about 80% of our fuel, I mean, no, it used more than that, but and that's the thing, it's so all over the place. Now, fortunately, we haven't seen the drastic numbers that this this is the first time that this has popped for us. And then there's 2100 credits just to land here. How much money do we got? 41K. So we're kind of hurting. I don't think Trade Authority has any money yet. So
Any chance you're headed towards the Charybdis system? We got a report of a distress call originating out there, but that's way outside our jurisdiction.
oh gosh. All right, so we're gonna put our contraband in there. One less thing to worry about. Just gonna come around here, make sure we got this magazine. We sure did. Okay. And then while we're here, let's fix up our weapons. If we can, at least. Reflex sight. Nothing there. Mm-hmm. Okay, no internal mods. It's semi-automatic. I prefer burst fire, but I don't like what it does to the physical damage. Alright, and then it would be great if we had a chilling mod, but we don't. I'm going to say lacerate for now. And then, okay, that's as far as we can go with it. And then we do have some rounds for this guy. Why not this guy? Because of, yes, because of this. What is it?
Be careful if you run into those ecliptic jerks. They fly around like they own the settled systems, and they like to use old, abandoned facilities as outposts. You know, the ones left over from the colony war.
Alright, so you got cornered, poison, and that's about it. And then socket. Okay.
Can't wait until I get to rotate out of here.
Put the laser sight on there.
You're out there a lot, right? In space? Just do us all a favor and never turn into one of those spacers.
Look at that.
Scum
God
of the
dang it.
galaxy. Robbing, stealing, killing. Even the Crimson Fleet don't trust them.
Okay.
Kill for a cup of coffee right about now.
Here I thought we'd be able to do more,
Anything I
but
can help you with?
yeah.
Got anything you need to offload? Trade authorities always buying.
Can you top off the fuel tanks? I'm sorry, we can't do that. Like to view and modify. I like to purchase a
Okay,
vehicle.
no problem.
All right.
Cool spacesuit.
Thank you. Now, I'm sad that. All right, so it's gonna take 40. Let's pay attention this time, okay? Because I sure didn't the last time. So it says it's gonna take 40. I know other things are gonna pop up. Auto saving 67. 67 it said that it took.
Your vessel is authorized to dock. Please begin approach.
So this time around is completely different than the last time. This time, we got attacked. We got attacked the one time, and that was it. He saved us, and then we went back on board the ship, and there was no fighting. For some reason, I could have sworn there was fighting the last time. There were still people alive on there. And then when the first time we jumped into a different system, boom, we were waylaid. And you don't, this, it didn't happen this time. And so that kind of is a little disappointing because remember, hey, yeah, um, some guy told me to meet him here.
Designation, some guy, unknown. All current station residents located in recreation area.
Okay, thank you. Just taking a real quick tour. Oh, he's over there. So we're gonna have to jump down. See, what's cool to me is if you remember the Thieves Guild in Skyrim, when you got there was a couple, places that weren't available, right? There's those little hutches, not, well, or alcoves or whatever, right there that, as you built up the guild, once you took over and built up the guild, then, you could put people in there and have like little stores or whatever. And then, so that seems to be what's happening here, right? And once we get rolling, these I expect to open up. And then we're going to get this place at some point should become kind of bustling, hustling, and it should, I think, kind of like if you start recruiting quite a bit of crew members, it's going to be like where they're all going to be hanging out. Not saying Constellation. I think Constellation will still be where Constellation, at the lodge. I'm thinking all your other crew members that you bring, that you recruit. So it will be interesting. Ooh. Oh, bathroom. So, and you can see there's another possibility here, right? So it's all locked off, but once you look at that, is that? Okay, wait. So the mini bite you can consume. Okay, those you cannot. Ooh, pancakes in a can. Oh man. Oh look, we can. This one, the bitten sandwich, we can take, but we can't. All right. We'll meet him and then we'll call it a day.
Ah, and there she is. Welcome to Stardock Alpha, my current home away from home. Glad you found your way here.
This isn't a social call. You're going to explain what happened.
I understand, and I'll even ignore the attitude. Getting ambushed is enough to make anyone tetchy. I imagine you have a lot of questions, and I do have answers for you.
Did we just
But
get schooled?
First, we need to talk about
I'm listening. Tell me what I need to know.
The group that attacked you, they're called Watchtower. I'm not surprised if you've never heard of them. To say they're clandestine would be an understatement. From what I've gathered, it seems they've made it their life's work to hunt down and confine individuals they consider dangerous. Individuals like you. And me.
They're hunting you too?
They sure are. I've had more than a few run-ins with good old Watchtower. Most encounters have not gone well. I think I first got their attention after I dealt with a particularly nasty group of pirates. Since then, I've done my best to keep my head down, but it doesn't matter. Sooner or later, they always seem to catch up to you.
Why do they consider me dangerous?
That's a good question. I mean, you seem capable, but there's plenty of people out there like that, so that can't be it. No, it's got to be something else. Something more unique? Huh.
What more can you tell me about them?
What can you say about a secretive galaxy-wide organization? I don't know. I can offer some information, but a lot of this will be conjecture. Given how well they hide themselves, I think it stands to reason Watchtower has infiltrated the major governments. Maybe the larger corporations too. And their technology. I don't know if they created it themselves, but what they have is cutting edge and dangerous. Oh, and the most important thing. If Watchtower gets their hands on someone, chances are you'll never see that person again.
All right. So Watchtower, huh? Well, it's good to have a name for them.
I'm glad you think so. But unfortunately for now, that's where the good news ends. Let me explain. When Watchtower came for you, I'm sure their method of capture didn't escape your notice. For people like us, Watchtower like to employ a particular device. A kind of energy weapon. The first blast disables your ship, the second disables you. Leaving you absolutely helpless and at Watchtower's tender mercy.
Yeah, I remember that. My head felt like it was splitting in two.
Yeah, you're not the only one. First time I got hit, the next thing I saw was my lunch in reverse. Now, I'm a little sparse on the details, but I do know they call this weapon the Synapse Disruptor, which seems an apt name if you ask me. Oh, and here's the worst part. There's no foolproof counter to the disruptor. None at all. Believe me, I've looked. I've tried. There's nothing.
I don't buy that. Everything has a weakness.
Well, glad you're staying optimistic. All right, let me backtrack and rephrase things. There is no technological counter to this weapon. No magic shields or special kind of hull plating. But this brings me to why I made contact. I have devised a strategy that would keep you and me safe from Watchtower's impromptu abductions. But the catch is, it's not something I can do alone. And it's gonna take effort. I'm gonna need your help on this. And you're gonna need mine.
What happens if Watchtower captures me?
Oh man, you do not want to know. Well, actually, you do. I mean, you did just ask. Okay, how do I say this? Everyone has potential, though most never quite reach it. If Watchtower captures you, it's not just your freedom they take. They steal from you your full potential. That was a terrible answer. Probably made no sense. Just know that Watchtower will lock you up and throw away the figurative key. You're at the start of a great journey. Watchtower would take that away from you. That's why you need to avoid them.
How did they find me anyway?
Honestly, I couldn't tell you. I knew myself. Because however they found you, it's likely the same way they keep finding me. All I know is that you'll be minding your own business, then without warning, in jump a whole bunch of Watchtower ships. And they're not aiming to kill you, they're trying to capture you. And believe me, you do not want to be captured by them.
Hold on, real quick. How did you find me?
Well, that one, I can't answer. You see, I was already on the lookout for you. I knew Watchtower would be searching for you, and I also knew they'd probably find you before I did. So I kept an eye on Watchtower comm lines, waiting to see if any patrols reported spotting you, or worse, capturing you. Which they did, and since they launched a comm beacon, I was able to intercept that, and then follow its trail back to where you were. Just in time to save your ass. Which, by the way, you are most welcome for.
But how did you know Watchtower was looking for me?
Huh. That's a fair question. I'm trying to think of how to answer without worrying you too much. Okay, a while back, I got my hands on a Watchtower database. Your name showed up a lot. Most of the information was encrypted, but there seemed to be a lot of it. I couldn't tell you why, but Watchtower has been keeping tabs on you for some time.
All right, so tell me about this strategy of yours.
It's fairly simple, really. Maybe you already noticed, but Watchtower's disruptor. It takes a while to charge between bursts. And as long as your ship has power, it needs to hit you at least twice in order to incapacitate. Now, if you're flying about all by your lonesome, it's not too difficult for Watchtower to blast you as many times as they need. But what if you weren't by yourself? What if you had the support of other ships?
I'm listening.
In a nutshell, here's my strategy. You don't fly alone anymore. Instead, you get some buddies. You get more ships. You get a fleet. Then, even if Watchtower track you down and get a shot in with their disruptor, with other ships there to cover you, they'd never get a second hit, giving you time to recover, get back in the fight, and avoid capture. Think about it. It makes sense, right?
Okay, that's a fairly good plan. I can see that working.
Okay, good. I'm happy you're on board with this fleet idea. You know that the first time that we... Oh.
In the other galaxy before the Unity?
Not really been introduced yet, have we? Let's rectify that. My name's Torin. Just Torin. I guess you could say I'm a traveler. Yeah, I travel the stars. Here and there, and sometimes back again. And it's likely during those travels I got the attention of Watchtower. And been trying to shake him off ever since.
So you're saying using the Unity has alerted them to you, and my counterpart using the Unity, which I have not used yet, but potentially my counterparts in other universes have, and that has alerted them to me. And so could you be saying that Watchtower is now some sort of police organization looking for Starborn to maybe rein them in, get them under control, instead of letting them run amok like the Hunter has done? Okay, well, good to know you, Torn. I'm Penny. I appreciate you helping me.
I think nothing of it. Just doing what's right. Okay then, if we're going to make this fleet idea work, it's about time we get a move on, before Watchtower catches us with our pants down.
Well, I don't want to be captured by Watchtower. Pants down or up.
You and me both. Here's how we're going to pull this fleet thing off. First, we need some hardware, equipment, especially designed to handle this sort of thing. Had a pal look into it, and he figured out what we'll need. a Model 2 fleet sync control node. And he knows where we can find one, too. But the problem is, control node's not easily accessible. It's stored away in an old facility with no simple way in. But I got a solution for that. Here, catch.
What's this? A grenade?
That is our solution. You ever hear about the orbital drops the UC and Freestar Collective did during the Colony War? Basically, troops planet-side would toss down a flare, like the one I just gave you. It would mark a spot, and then depending on what the flare signaled, ships in orbit would fire down whatever was requested. Emergency backup, supplies, or sometimes just a good old airstrike. Or orbit strike, I guess. They called them sky drops. Very versatile, very useful, and now very illegal. Forbidden by the armistice. At least for the military. But we're not military. I got a skydrop system rigged up to my ship, and that's what we're going to use to get into that facility and grab the hardware we need.
Do we really need some special hardware to create a fleet?
Well, no, not technically. However, it's one thing to have other ships just follow you around, but we need more than that. We need coordination. If Watchtower disables your ship, the fleet needs to notice this and react straight away to protect you. That's the whole point of this. And tell me, have you ever actually tried to coordinate multiple vessels in the middle of battle all at the same time? It's not easy, trust me.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we need this control node. Otherwise, none of this is going to work.
And then how does Skydrop get us into the facility?
Ah, come on. I don't want to ruin the surprise. That's half the fun. Before revealing the specifics, I'll let your imagination run wild just a little while longer.
And these Skydrops, how do they work?
The thinking behind them was, when you're in the heat of battle, you never know what you might need, or when you might need it. So, if you found yourself in some trouble, just hit some buttons on a flare, toss it down, and a few seconds later, whatever you needed, there it is. Although, no system is perfect. Skydrop has its drawbacks. First, being you need at least one manned ship in orbit with a Skydrop system installed. Second, that ship needs to be loaded with whatever it is you require. Ship can't drop what it doesn't have. And lastly, Skydrop is a bulky system. Usually you need a large ship to accommodate it. However, I've discovered some workarounds for that issue.
All right, I'm ready. Let's get this fleet hardware.
That's what I like to hear. Time to get moving. Jump in your ship and meet me outside. Hail me when you're ready and we'll plot a course. I'm glad we're doing this. You and me. We'll show Watchtower they picked the wrong people to mess with. This time.
This time. So again, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking he's a Starborn. Does his hair look white to you? Oh, just the lighting from this distance. So what I'm thinking is he may be Starborn, and this could be, the Watchtower could be a agency tasked with, basically policing people that are using or going through the Unity. Unfortunately, though, with our character, we have not done anything like that. Let's look at so we don't have any main mission. Port in the Storm is our only faction mission. So activity, see, find work at Argos mining facility on Vectira. So we haven't actually started the main mission of the game. I mean, yeah. In truth, this completed is not completely accurate, because us having the Prinia says that we completed the new smuggler warehouse, neon smuggler warehouse mission at least, and seeing that we're level 16 or 19 now, that we've done some stuff. So yeah, okay, so that's where I'm gonna call it today. And remember, just remind you all, leave a like if you like the content. And then, especially with these mod play it's more of a play test than a showcase or review or any of those things. Because basically, we want to get into the mod, see how it plays, see if it's fun. You know what I mean? I can sit back and tell you the highlights of the mods, but that's really not what I'm into. And it's easier to show you and to allow you to see, just real reactions while I'm playing. Am I certain things? Do they hit? Do they miss? Do they, am I enjoying it? And um that way you can kind of see the gameplay too and say, "Oh, okay, yeah, I want to give that one a try." Cuz there's tons of things you may do differently, right? And me, I get sidetracked quite a bit. I like to jump in and jump out, and if I see something that just like, squirrel, and then all of a sudden I'm off on a tangent. It's just the way it is. So, you know, it is what it is. So remember, leave a like, definitely comment, let me know what you're thinking. Let me know if you've actually gone out and got this one. Watchtower is $10. Real O2, I believe, is a free mod. Real Fuel is, and I have the $3 version, the 300 credit version of Real Fuel. And then, but with those, with Real O2, it requires, suit up. And then, I'm trying to think, what else do I have? So those are the ones, and then so basically that's what we were looking at today. We were looking at those three specifically, right? The O2, the fuel, and what Watchtower was adding to the game. Also, I mean, in the actual gameplay itself, that's where you see all the Dark Star stuff come into play, right? How the AI from the enemies and how strong or tough they are, and then so yeah. So next time around, I'll probably keep going with this one. The other playthrough, the what I'm really itching for is I want to see again when I'm in battle with one of the Watchtower ships, if I can disable it and then board it and see what happens. In a different playthrough, right? In our first round of playtesting, or in the second video, was it the first or second video? We boarded a ship and the ship was wonky. It wasn't. We don't know if it was the game that did it, if it was the mod itself, or if there were conflict of certain mods that were just causing the ship to be just crazy. And the other thing too was, and then someone had commented and made, was like the sheer number of spawns that we had on that ship, just the sheer number of people that we had to battle was crazy. Like seriously, I think we had to fight and kill over 50 of them. 50. And I'm like, this ship can't have this many people. It doesn't normally have this many. Does it, but it like just kept spawning in. And that was telling me, well, maybe that's kind of a thing, right? You got Dark Star Game Overhaul doing it. You got Bedlam spawning in reinforcements, and and then the problem was there were certain areas of the ship that were just walled off, right? You couldn't get to them. And then somebody had commented that was probably an issue where where it looks like it's like a door is there, but the door really isn't there. It's not really a door. So you can see through it and you can see the people on the other side, but you can't get to that area. So you can't take over the ship. And then that was the other thing. Someone had commented that maybe the ship you weren't supposed to be able to take that one over. I was like, well, I was able to knock it out and board it. So if I can board it, I can take it. And we got to the cockpit all right. Right? It's just that there was a lot of places where you would fall through the floor, you would walk out the door into an area that looks like you were on the outside of the ship, but you were still kind of in the ship, and it was crazy. And so that was a little wonky. Now, how do I feel about Watchtower? Playing it so far, it's going to take time. I really think it's going to take time before I'm one of those people that say, yeah, you got to get this. It's just crazy, right? Because of the wonkiness and the issues we experienced the first time around. And the other thing was dealing with O2 and the level of the character that I had and the inability to add certain things to my equipment to make the oxygen work better, and then I screwed up the same way in this game. I was clearing out my inventory, to put onto the ship so that I can, have less, lower my carry weight, and accidentally put the purge valve on the, stored it. And I had used it previously earlier in the testing, and I was like, okay, but it's reusable, so you can use it multiple times. So when I didn't see it in my inventory anymore, I'm like, it was supposed to be reusable. I was pissed, right? Because it's supposed to be reusable, but it's not there. That means it was a one-time use thing. And I'm out on the planet. I'm serious. My CO2 build up completely. Once it builds up, you have no oxygen. So I'm using med packs like crazy, just trying to, look so I can look around for this pass key to get inside this building, right? After we finally got, eliminated all the enemies, and I'm just dying and asphyxiating right there, right in my suit. And so I'm just hitting the med packs just to keep myself going. And then so we had to basically leave the area and go back to my ship, so my character just didn't die. And then while I was on my ship, I checked my inventory, the ship's inventory, and then boom, there's the purge valve. Because I went back and made a new one. And then I just checked the inventory and saw, God dang it. That was on me. That was my issue, right? And here, I'm getting ready to curse the mod author up one side and down the other, because it's like it's supposed to be reusable. I only need one. I don't need to make multiple. And then where did it go? Well, my dumb butt put it in the ship storage instead of carrying it on me, right? And the thing was, if it had occurred to me at any point, right, because I do have access to my ship storage at any time I want it, right? That's one of the requirements that I have for playing this game. I got to be able to access it anywhere, anytime, because I'm a looter. And I should have just accessed it, opened it up, and looked, and I didn't. So that was on me. So I made things way more difficult than it needed to be. But then I couldn't find the passcode for the door to get in there, and I'm looking around, and checking all the bodies over and over again, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. I can't get inside. I'm dying. I'm asphyxiating in my suit right now, and I couldn't purge all the CO2 out because this reusable purge valve wasn't available. But that was my fault. And then so again, it is experience. It is how it feels in the moment when when you can actually gauge something, say, am I enjoying it? Am I loving it? Am I having a good time with it? And then for me, frustration is a very big factor in whether I'm enjoying something or not. And the more frustrating it is, the less enjoyment I'm having. And then so my experience thus far is not, I have not been overwhelmed or even whelmed, if you want to say, by this mod yet. And it's $10, right? So it's like, I don't know. And then one of the biggest concerns I have now on PC is different than Xbox. And please, if you guys are with me this long, chime in the comment section. Are you concerned that is a 2 GB mod, right? And the reason I ask that is because there is a limitation to how much you can add for Xbox, right? And what I have found is that once you go over a certain size in added mods, right? Generally, here's the thing. I believe it's 6 GB that you have space that you can for mods. It might be a little bit more than that, but I think it's about 6. Maybe it is higher. But what I'm finding is once I get over 4 gigs, and you say, well, 4 gigs, dude, what are you adding in there? And it's like, well, some of these clothing mods, right? IAT clothier mod, right? I don't have it and I don't enable it because it's over 800 megabytes. Yeah. So it's almost a gig by itself. The the faction mod that I have, that's over 500, right? The Varun, that's over, I believe it's over 100, maybe even 200. The Crimson Fleet, that's over 300. The Nomad is over 200. So just basically, you have about 2.5 to 3 gig of just spacesuit and clothing mods right there. So that's right. When you add in other things that take up quite a bit of space, all of a sudden you are like, once you get over about 4.5 gigs, it becomes very wonky and very unstable, in my opinion, on Xbox. So on console, it is kind of the same way with PC. But what I noticed with console is this. Once you get over 4 gigs and you got all those things loaded, now when you go into the creation section, sometimes it's hit or miss. Sometimes it will just crash and just, basically, crash the desktop. Boom. Right? And just kick you out. Or sometimes it will, let you in and it spins and it takes longer and longer and longer to load those things. And then you start to have issues in the game. So the concern is, because if I'm not mistaken, it's like 1.9 gigabytes for Watchtower. So it's huge compared to everything else. It's like double the size of the largest mod that I've ever added. It's more than double because the largest one is the IET Clothier one. And like I said, I don't even put that on anymore. And then there's a couple of spacesuit mods, Zones 79 or something like that, Zone 79, or those mods are about 6, 7, 800 megabytes as well. So I'm concerned about the size of Watchtower, being that it's a creation instead of a DLC. Right? Shattered Space was definitely bigger and everything, but that was a DLC added. And the creations is still kind of a thing, a layer on top. And my concern is the stability of the consoles putting something that big on it, which is why I've done it for PC, but I have not done it plus is $10. So it's like, yeah, who's, am I really gonna, shell out $20 just to double down on one mod that I don't know that I really truly like yet? So right now we're testing it on PC to see what's the wonkiness, what is it doing, what's the impact, right? But again, the impact isn't as significant as it would be on console. Console would be a much more significant impact, especially since if you're already pushing 4.5 gigs with your creations, and then you want to add that one, you're definitely going to be well over 6. And then, like I said, I don't remember exactly what the limit is, but if you're really pushing, but I don't really recommend going that high on the console, which means what mods are you taking off to add this one? You really are going to have to start going down that path to say, okay, in order to have this one, I got to get rid of these. And then you really have to start picking and choosing because, like I said, there is a limit to how much you really, want to put on there. And remember, not every quest mod, but some quest mods go anywhere from 30 to 100 megabytes. All the clothing ones are, anywhere from, 30 to 800 megabytes, and they vary. And like I said, the ones that I'm using, Varun, the Mantis, Nomad, Crimson, Fleet, they're all in the 200, 300 megabyte category. And then so when you just look, so if I'm going to add Watchtower to my console, I'm going to have to lose a lot of the stuff that I like. And the question is, do I like Watchtower enough to be okay with losing the other stuff that I really like? And, I don't know that I do. And then right now, just on PC, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. It is going to be interesting because I kind of, in looking at what it's trying to do, it's kind of like, and here's the thing. Remember Oblivion? Well, I guess you should. It should be on the tip of everybody's tongue right now, if you think about it, because just the remaster just came out. But what was the main point of Oblivion? You had a bunch of gates you had to go around and close and shut down. That was the one thing that sticks out that I remember the most about there, right? You have to go onto the gate and then defeat all the creatures and everything in there and then solve a puzzle or whatever, close stuff out, right? And then basically shut down each gate. And I kind of get the feeling, just looking at the mod page and looking at some things like that, it's going to have these listening posts, and you're going to have to go find all these listening posts, shut them down, right? To blind the Watchtower and shut down certain areas. And it's like, kind of, that's the tie-in I get. And that's what it's kind of remembering, feeling. That's the vibes I'm getting, right? It's like all these listening posts located all throughout the area. You got to find them, go take them out. And it's like, interesting. I don't know how many there are, but I remember I saw one diagram and it was a whole bunch up there, right? And I'm like, how many gates were there? Oblivion gates. There were like 20 or 30 or something like that. I'm like, I wonder if there's like a whole, 20 or 30, 40 listening posts that you can go take out. I'm like, this one, it's meant for the long haul. So that's another thing you want to keep in play. This isn't one of those simple mods you go in there and then boom, it's done. This one sounds and looks like it's something for the long haul. Not only is it like you have a quest line, eliminate all these listening posts to blind the Watchtower, but it just seems like the Watchtower will be a constant foe that you'll probably face throughout your entire playthrough. And then the question is, back to one comment I had made before, what if they are the Unity police in a sense, right? I'm not saying it, and I'm not going to call them the Unity police in a good sense. What I'm saying is they are the folks that have charged themselves with policing the Unity, right? And those Starborn that are abusing and using it, or people potentially that will eventually use or abuse it. And kind of likened to, like them or not the Enclave, but the other faction in oh my gosh, with the suits, the mech suits, the faction. God, what are they in Fallout? Somebody in the comments, let me know. I can't remember what they're called now. You know, with Dance and all those guys. And oh my gosh, what are they? They're not. Let's see. There's the Minutemen, the Enclave, the railroad, the institute, and then they put it upon themselves to go out and seek out technology and either destroy it or commandeer it for themselves because it was too dangerous. What if the Watchtower is that equivalent, right? So what you've done is you've gotten, certain aspects from different games now, right? So you got the listening post, i.e., Oblivion Gates. You got the Watchtower themselves, right? Those folks. In other words, the faction from Fallout, the mech faction from Fallout. So you again, it's kind of like a mixture of all these things. So they've determined that all these people, that these travelers is what we're calling them. And remember, traveler is the term that has been used already for the Starborn folks, right? As a matter of fact, what's his name referred to himself as the traveler, spoiler alert, from, the priest guy. So again, and then the traveler is referred to in remember when you had to go out and you had to talk to the three different religions, and then the Varun guy tells you about how Varun, you know, the guy met the traveler and fought him X number of times. So could it be that? I'm just saying these are the things I'm just tying together. I don't know. But it would be interesting, right? That would be very interesting to see. So there you have it. These are the three mods that I'll be looking at probably the most and playtesting as often as I can. Because they're the ones I'm on the fence about, right? Because I'm again looking at them and saying, okay, for low level characters, are they really too hard, right? Too whatever. And then that's for the O2 and the fuel mods. The Watchtower, like I said, the potential is there. There's a lot to it, and the question is it a slow burn, and you got to warm up to it? Right now, I'm not. Like I said, I'm not like totally blown away by it. I tell you the truth, the character from Benjamin Dune and the Triangle of Infinity, that guy actually blows me away more than his Watchtower stuff. And then the problem is, I really like the character and the lines that he gives, right? They're funny. I like it. And but there is a major drawback to that mod. And there just a warning. If you put that mod in, it will impact where your vehicle spawns when you land. And it pushes the vehicle out and away from where your ship lands. And I don't know why that is, or why I would do that, but I've had some people in the comments, say that they were able to confirm, yes, when they take the mod off, the vehicle works just fine. When they put the mod back on, it's further out. Just like, and that really becomes an issue. One time when we landed in Gargarin, there was a lot of, my controller just went crazy, and there was a lot of noise and clunking, and that was because the ship was not the ship, but the vehicle was trying to spawn. It seemed like with inside one of the rock formations surrounding the landing area, and I think it was just, I don't know what was going on, but it was really weird. And but yeah, everywhere I landed, that the vehicle was way out there, and I'm like, wow. And then I was telling them, I said, I don't know if it's, but they said they were able to confirm that, yeah, that it was the mod that was doing it. And I'm like, what about the mod is making that happen? See, so you never know. You never know what's going to happen there. So right now we just got the vehicle. So we haven't landed anywhere to see where it spawns. But without the vehicle, we didn't have any issues. We didn't have a vehicle for it. But now, next time we land on the planet surface, we're going to see where it actually spawns for us. Okay, I've rambled a lot. So thank you for your patience. Remember, like, comment, subscribe, and thanks for being here. All right, we'll see you next time. Bye.